What's up guys, my name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 things coming to Season of the Opulence. Now before we get started, I just wanted to mention a few things. First of all, this video will list off 10 things that I am looking forward to with the release of Season of the Opulence. This list is in no particular order, it's just a list of 10 things. Secondly, this is a small DLC and does not really have that many things in the DLC, so don't expect a lot from this list. This list basically serves to give you an idea of what's coming to the next DLC from all the news and blog posts that have released. So I basically just went around the internet to the different blog posts, to Twitter, and a bunch of different locations, and I found out all the information that I could, and I listed the 10 ones that I am definitely looking forward to. This may include things that you don't know about. And of course, no Dychronic video would be complete without a set of cute and adorable animals on screen near the beginning of the video. And if you guys did not know, a lot of these animals actually have names. For example, that first one was actually like the video. The second one was subscribe to the channel. The third one was put a comment down below saying cute animals are the best, wahoo, and the very last one is whatever you want it to be, man. I've run out of ideas. Anyways, without further fluffer ado, let's go ahead and get started with the top 10 things coming to Season of the Opulence. And coming up at number 1, it's going to be the Crown of Sorrows raid. Now, we don't know a lot about this upcoming raid, but it is a raid. It's a 6-player activity, lots of raid loot from armor to weapons to raid puzzles and doing the actual raid and even Calais Lord and all that stuff. So something to definitely look forward to, and that releases on the same day of the DLC at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Anyways, moving on to number 2 in this top 10 list is going to be the new activity known as the Menagerie, which is a 6-player match-made activity, and if I'm not mistaken, other than raids, is the only 6-player match-made activity in the entire history of Destiny 2, which is something that's very exciting. They're giving us an activity that's repeatable, that's kind of raid-ish, but not the raid, which might be a little interesting and definitely might offer a bunch of rewards. Now, in my opinion, it's probably going to be something similar to Escalation Protocol or that thing on the barge with the Court of Oryx. It's probably going to be something like that. However, those things were in the patrol zones and they weren't match-made. So that's probably just their way of making those things, but in a match-made activity. Either way, you have lots of opportunities for the new weapons, the new armors, picking things with runes, lots of cool stuff going on. Moving on to number 3 in this top 10 countdown is going to be the new weapons for random rolls. Now, not every weapon can have every roll. New weapons mean new chances at the best versions of each weapon type. For example, when Black Armory came out, the Blast Furnace, which is a 4-burst 450 pulse rifle, it definitely changed my mind about 4-burst weapons. Whereas before, you had the Right Side of Wrong, which was a little bit slower fire rate. You had the Go Figure at 450. In my opinion, the Blast Furnace just has better rolls, a better stat distribution than the Go Figure, and it's just a better weapon. So this is just one example of where a different type of weapon with different rolls and stability and whatever it is can change your mind about different weapons, and finding the best versions of each weapons with the new weapons that come out is something that I look forward to on each DLC. And on top of that, with the new system of runes and chalice to make farming more consistent, makes it so you can actually get what you want more of the time. Next up, coming up at number 4 in this top 10 list is going to be the new Calais Lord. Now, we've seen a lot of Calais over the time. The game released with the Leviathan, it also had the next 2 DLCs, Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars, both Calais, so you had 3 Calais in a row. We haven't seen Calais for a very long time. Now, currently, Calais is basically like this big rich dude that just wants entertainment, and because we're a special anomaly in the universe with the power of the Traveler, the Calais is somewhat entertained by us, and I feel like his character is a little shallow and a little bit simple, and I hope in this next DLC we get to discover more about him. Now, this is about delving into his vault, so it kind of does seem like more of the same. He's a rich dude wanting entertainment, and he just gives you riches. But I hope that it's leading to something. I hope that it's getting to a point where he actually needs our help. We actually get to meet him. We have to find out more about him. That is something that is very exciting to me. I don't know anything about the lore, keep that in mind, but I'm very excited to see more about it. Coming up at number 5 in this top 10 countdown are gonna be the new sandbox updates and buffs. If you did not know, there's a bunch of weapons that are gonna be changing very slightly, including fusion rifles getting a huge damage buff across the entire board, as well as swords getting a lot of weird things happening to it, getting more ammo, making heavies more expensive, and lots of things. But overall, swords and fusion rifles are getting buffs on top of a bunch of other things, something to look forward to for sure. Anyways, moving on to number 6 in this top 10 countdown is going to be the 3 new Pinnacle Weapons. Pinnacle Weapons are legendary weapons with exotic-like perks that you have to do a bunch of crazy stuff in a single season to to be able to get it, and this season is no different. First of all, you have the Vanguard one, the Wendigo GL3 Arc Adaptive Frame Grenade Launcher, and its special perk is you do bigger blast radius and more damage the more orbs of light you pick up before shooting your shot. So it's all about picking up orbs of light, doing a bunch of damage, and combining it with supers, which is somewhat interesting, and we'll see exactly how much damage it does. Next up for Crucible, you have the Revoker, which is a kinetic aggressive frame sniper rifle, which I believe means it's a 72 RPM if I'm remembering aggressive frame properly, and its special perk, basically, if you miss a shot, after a short while, it will turn that shot directly into the magazine. So fire a shot away, after a few seconds or so, you'll get that shot back in your magazine, so it's all about just taking that shot and not worrying about missing, because you get that shot back if you do end up missing. And lastly, the Gambit Weapon, which is known as Hush, which is a solar precision combat bow. Now firstly, precision combat bows, I believe, are going to be the subtle calamity variety, so the higher damage and the slower fire rate, and it has a unique perk called Archer's Gambit, where hip fire precision hits grant a massive draw speed bonus for a short duration. So imagine in the wild, you have a slow firing bow, you get a hip fire precision hit, not a kill, precision hit, and then all of a sudden you're going to be firing like 3 or 4 times faster. Now I don't know the exact numbers, but that's the idea of what it sounds like, and that sounds like you could do some pretty impressive DPS, and it definitely seems like a lot of fun. Coming up at number 7 on this top 10 countdown are going to be the 2 new exotic quests, which are going to be the Truth exotic rocket launcher and the Lumina exotic hand cannon. Now, if you did not know, these different exotic quests will be releasing over time. The Truth rocket will be releasing on June 11th, so you can start the quest then, and the Lumina hand cannon will be releasing on July 2nd. Now, both of these weapons are something we've been looking forward to. The Truth was a fan favorite, tracking more rockets in the tube rocket launcher that everybody loved from Destiny 1. Lumina is like the Rose to the Thorn hand cannon kind of deal, and it has a couple of special perks on it that have not really been confirmed, but it's something that looks really cool. And if you can see it on screen, it just looks amazing, and I can't wait to go after it on July 2nd. Moving on to number 8 in this top 10 countdown are going to be the Moments of Triumph, Tribute Hall, and Solstice of Heroes. Now, I did group these all together, and it should become obvious. I'm going to explain right now. Firstly, I wanted to explain these different things in case you were wondering and you did not know about them. Firstly, Moments of Triumph. Last year, Moments of Triumph was basically a celebration of the past year of Destiny 2, giving you a bunch of rewards for having completed a bunch of things in that year. So in the previous one, you had 400 potential points where you could get things like the new Sparrow, the new Ghost Shell, a discount code for a shirt, a bunch of cool things, and you had to do things like the Eater Worlds raid, the Leviathan raid, completing Escalation Protocol. Basically, if you've done a whole bunch of stuff in year 1, you should get most of them, as well as a couple of new things that added on top of that to do some replay value to, you know, make you do those things over again. And I'm assuming that's what's going to happen in this next one, is it's basically going to say, hey, do the Scourge of the Past raid, go do the Last Wish, and if you've done those already, they should auto-unlock. It's kind of like a thing that says, hey, what have you done in the past year, and here's a bunch of rewards for those veterans who have been sticking it out. Next up, the Tribute Hall. I actually do not know for a fact at all what this is, but what it sounds like is it's going to be a physical embodiment of those Moments of Triumph, or something to that kind of effect. There's a reason why they're placed on the same place on the calendar you can see on screen now, and I believe that it is because it's linked to Moments of Triumph. Now, there's been other games I've seen in the past, like Guild Wars with their, I think their Monument of Heroes, or the Hall of Monuments or something, where they literally would have a bunch of statuettes just displayed out for all of the different big accomplishments you've done in that game, and that's what it kind of sounds like, but again, I could be wrong. And lastly, this Solstice of Heroes, where last year it was basically you got a bunch of different sets of armor that were upgraded versions of each armor that eventually led to a really cool looking glowing armor set that you got to use and actually get to 400 light when it used to be a maximum of 385 light. And it was basically just a bunch of busy work, completing some revamped campaign missions, doing some strikes, doing some public events, picking up the elemental orbs. It was mostly just kind of replay the same things you have been doing, and you get some cool glowy armor at the end. In Destiny 2's first year, you kind of just threw that away immediately because of the new armor system. I don't think there's going to be a new armor system with new stats in the beginning of year 3, so you should be able to keep this armor and keep it with you as you go along. So it's definitely something that's cool, but may not have a lot of complexity to it. Coming up next at number 9 in this top 10 list is going to be the new Eververse Store and items. As always, every new DLC has a whole slew of new Eververse items, new emotes, new ornaments, new ghost protections. Everything new is going to be new things you can get that you may or may not like. On top of that, there's also going to be a new store look and function. There's a couple of new things that are changing to it, so it's not going to be exactly the same as it was before. On screen, you can see a couple examples of the new store. And on top of that, they're also going to have some returning Year 1 favorites from Destiny 2. So it's basically going to be a special rainbow bright engram that's going to contain all of the Year 1 favorites in case you were missing some of those things. For example, the spicy ramen exotic emotes. That's been a big favorite from Year 1 that you can no longer get until now with these new engrams. And finally, coming up at number 10 on this top 10 list, seems like a bit of a cop-out. It's not actually part of the next DLC, but it comes out pretty much at the same time. On June 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, they're going to be doing a Bungie live stream for the Year 3 reveal, talking about the next chapter in Destiny 2, revealing the new DLCs that may be Forsaken size. That's usually what they do around September, is a Forsaken size DLC, that they may be doing that again. You know, we've had 3 small DLCs since Forsaken. Now it's time to go for a big one, and they're going to be talking about all that stuff on June 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And that is pretty much it. That is my top 10 list of the things coming to the next DLC in the season of the Opulence. Let me know in the comments down below if there's some other stuff that you are very excited about, and let me know what it is, why you're excited, all the doodads, as well as that comment I mentioned at the beginning of the video, cute animals, wahoo kind of thing. Let me know in the comments down below if you like that animal part. But that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.